Thank you for sharing the collage of videos from the families. Terrific. And I think it sets the stage for our show this afternoon. Welcome, good afternoon. Magandang hapon sa lahat. Maayong hapon sa inyo tanan from my Visayan friends. Welcome to the 2022 Virtual U.S. Congressional Gold Medal Award Ceremony. This is the 90th, 90. That's right, you heard it right. 90th Congressional Gold Medal Ceremony since it started in 2016. I'm Joe Garbanzos, and I will be the program host. So I'll be facilitating our show this afternoon. The primary focus of the program today is to recognize, albeit virtually, the WW2 World War II Filipino veterans and their families with the U.S. Congressional Gold Medal. To honor and recognize these extraordinary veterans and families, we have Major General Tony, his Army retired, to do the medal presentation. Before we proceed, we wish to thank the team behind the scenes, you met them earlier, who are making this virtual event possible. The team from the Filipino Veterans Recognition Education Project, the AARP California team, big thanks. Let's give them a wave, a big thank you for a job well done. You will learn more about the Filipino Veterans Recognition Education Project from Tony Taguba. But a word about AARP, which I also represent here as the state president for California. AARP is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization, and proud to be part of this show this afternoon to recognize and celebrate Filipino and Filipino-American World War II veterans and their families. It is a real privilege and an honor to be part of the program. You know, AARP has a long history when it comes to supporting veterans and their families, including approximately 5 million individuals who are AARP members. And we have a member of our AARP California Executive Council who is with us this afternoon in the show, Michael Dolphin. Thanks, Michael, and welcome to the show. We are here to serve those who have worn the uniform by offering community programs, online resources like fraud prevention and education, and many other resources in areas that truly matter and affect the lives of veterans and families. AARP offers free workshops, such as the Military Caregiving Workshop, where families can find information on how to plan and prepare for caregiving. You know, the boxes that our Congressional Gold Medal families receive with the replica of the medal and fun service items, swag items, were generous gift from AARP California. So thank you, AARP. To access AARP resources and information, you may go to aarp.org/veterans. So you can access online more information and resources. And maybe Tiffany, you can put that on the chat for the families to refer to. Again, it's aarp.org/veterans. We also wish to welcome our guests. We have San Diego elected officials who took time to, some of them share their warm greetings virtually. So we have, I understand, U.S. Congressman Juan Vargas joining us later, Scott Peters and Sarah Jacobs and Mayor Todd Gloria are sending their virtual greetings to the families. We give thanks to our supporting organization in San Diego, Filipino Press, COPAO, and Filipino American community leaders like Joanne Fields and others who have supported this project. To achieve the purpose of our program this afternoon, we have structured the program to focus on the awarding of the Congressional Gold Medal to families. We will share additionally vignettes from each of the veteran and families. These vignettes, video vignettes, short, but tell a compelling story of extraordinary service and sacrifices from veterans and their families. We are bringing this to you all in a safe format in the midst of a surging pandemic. I have previewed these vignettes, and they're moving and may emote some happy tears. So be ready with your handkerchiefs if needed. Housekeeping. We're doing this in a social media format, so manage expectations. We have Facebook and streaming on YouTube simultaneously. There may be a delay if you're watching us on YouTube on the streaming. Now stay with us. As Tiffany pointed out, there's a recorded version of this program tonight for repeat viewing and for posterity if you want to see this time and time again. If for some reason you get bumped off due to uneven internet connectivity, just log in again and you should be able to pick up where you left off. You may also use the chat function to engage our production staff as we move forward. At the conclusion of the presentation, we will transition to the Medal of Honor Telesforo Trinidad Name a Battleship campaign panel discussion. There'll be a virtual program break in between, give you an opportunity for photo opportunities with Major General Tony Taguba before the panel discussion starts. So stand by, don't go away after the Congressional Gold Medal presentation because there's a panel discussion that comes shortly after that. So at this time, to lead the prayers, the invocation, I'd like to introduce Chaplain Don Beadog, Jr., U.S. Navy, Captain, retired. Chaplain Don.
Let us pray. Eternal God, the source and the giver of life, the destiny toward whom all life flows, we come to you this afternoon, remembering and honoring today and every day our World War II heroes. Many of the warriors left their families and never returned home, nor hearing Filipinos and Americans saying, "Thank you for your service." They gave up their todays and guaranteed our future freedom. We honor all our fallen fellow Filipinos and Americans, known and unknown, who sacrificed their freedom to ensure our own. With love, grace, and earnest reflection, we are rededicating ourselves to strengthening our nation's promise to never forget the sacrifices of our brave Marines, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen who gave their all for freedom's sake. These brave warriors deserve our utmost respect and gratitude for giving their last full measure of devotion for the valued principles that bind us as one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. These courageous and selfless fighters have stepped forward to protect the nations they love, fight for America's highest ideal, and show millions that a future of liberty is possible. In remembering and recognizing those who made the ultimate sacrifice, we pray, O Lord, that our nation continues to pledge to never stop working in fulfilling our moral obligation to all members of our armed services so they know we stand beside them every step of the way. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, in whose hands are the living and the dead, we give you thanks for all of those of your servants who have laid down their lives in the service of our country. Grant them your mercy and the light of your presence and the assurance of your peace. This is our prayer that we offer in the holy name of Jesus Christ, in memory of those of the past, in the hope for the future of peace, O God our Father. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Don. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the playing of the Philippine and the U.S. national anthems.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwalhatit pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mang-aapi, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Now, please welcome Major General Antonio Taguba, U.S. Army, retired, Chairman of the Filipino Veterans Recognition and Education Project. General Tony, welcome to San Diego.
Everybody hear me? Good. Thanks, Joe, for that kind introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank especially Chaplain Don for delivering God's blessings to our ceremony today, especially to the deceased World War II veterans that are unable to attend this afternoon. As Joe said, I'm Major General Antonio Mario Taguba, United States Army retired. I'm the son of Sergeant First Class Tomas Taguba, who was captured in Bataan. He was a Philippine scout at the time, and escaped from the march on his third day, and then became a recognized hero so know full well what this ceremony is about. To our distinguished guests and families of deceased veterans who are not able to attend, our deepest and eternal gratitude for attending this afternoon to receive your loved one's Congressional Gold Medal. Now, in our lives, we often aspire to do something that is unquestionably life-changing. In the case of the American and Filipino veterans, soldiers, they fought with fierce determination and were victorious against a brutal enemy to defend the United States in the Philippines during World War II. This award ceremony you will all witness is a once in a lifetime for many here today. This is our 90th ceremony reflective of the epic day on October 25th, 2017, when the U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Paul Ryan formally awarded the Congressional Gold Medal to 3 living veterans, represented by Mr. Celestino Almeida, a 104-year-old veteran, and 3 of next of kin, represented by Mrs. Margaret Baltazar, wife of the late Major Jesse Baltazar. President Abraham Lincoln once said, and I quote, "To honor those to the soldiers and sailors everywhere who bravely bears this country's cause in honor, also to the citizen who cares for his brother in the field and serves as best as he can the same cause." For those we are honoring with the Congressional Gold Medal, this reflects the interminable cost on the lives and sacrifice of some 260,000 men and women who fought during World War II in the Philippines. They embodied the values of the Army Creed. They accomplished their mission to never leave a fallen comrade behind and to never quit. They stood strong and stalwart even when their brothers died and were wounded, waiting for their rightful recognition. And after the war in September 1945, the 79th Congress passed the Rescission Acts of 1946 that denied their status of active service during the war, which is a betrayal of their benefits promised and revocation of their path towards American citizenship. This law created a lifetime of indignation and injustice that still lingers to this day. The Rescission Act was never repealed, and we are going to go after it in our next mission to repeal that act. But the undeniable proof is that 57,000 soldiers were killed in action, thousands more were wounded for life, and thousands missing in action. These men and women did exist, an irrefutable and significant historical fact. It begs to remind us, the families and beneficiaries of their selfless sacrifice and heroic acts in war, to our children and grandchildren in the future, to never forget the significance of their mission and the dire and unknown consequences had they failed in war, but they succeeded. The Congressional Gold Medal was specially designed by the veterans and approved by the United States Mint. We consulted with several living veterans on how their story would be enshrined on a medal that is 3 inches in diameter and weighs approximately 1 pound. It is a one-of-a-kind medal. The front end of the medal has 3 faces of soldiers, Filipinos and Americans, representing the Philippine Scouts, the Philippine Commonwealth Army, the United States Army, and recognized guerrillas. The reverse of the medal portrays key features of the 4 major campaigns the soldiers fought under. The U.S. Secretary of Treasury approved the design of the medal. Congress appropriated funds to pay only for one Congressional Gold Medal, which is housed in a vault at the United States Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. We in PhilVetRep conduct these ceremonies through donations to purchase the bronze replica of the medal. The medal the recipients will receive today is a bronze replica of the exact design of the gold medal I have mentioned previously. To the families accepting the medal on behalf of your loved ones, the Congressional Gold Medal represents the value, legacy, incalculable, immeasurable, of the veterans who served, who fought with fierce determination for their families and countries, who suffered in death and wounds, whose loyalty and patriotism made it possible for all of us who are attending today and across the country to enrich our lives of freedom and future. Cherish the incalculable value of the medal. Your loved ones, the fighting Filipino veterans, earned it for their duty to country. It's also about how we must honor and respect them. to tell your children in the future why this medal is an important part of your family's history and why it must be enshrined in American history, to educate the public and to preserve their legacy for eternity. We as a community must record their experience and share them with others, so our beloved veterans are never forgotten. We all owe the veterans an eternal debt of gratitude for their service and selfless sacrifice. As they pass on, we become their voices in telling their stories for generations to come. As I mentioned before, they must be remembered for eternity. With that, I'm honored for all of us to see the 6-minute video, which encompasses of 80 years worth of history. Please show the video.
I think that oftentimes you get written out of history when you're not the one doing the writing.
World War II happened in many other places, and my grandma was one of those people who experienced that. And why have I never heard anything about the Philippines during the war?
No one talks about the Filipinos who were there, much less the fact that we took away their service afterwards. It's sort of a second-class kind of narrative about World War II.
All of the promises that they were made to fight were taken away from them, right? U.S. citizenship, benefits conferred on both themselves, on their spouses. I mean, you can't help but feel like a part of you has been taken away.
If they rob you of your honor and betray you on a promise that was made to you, they don't pay you and then they discount you. That's hard. You know, it's tantamount to being non-existent.
December 7th, 1941.
December 8, 1941.
A date which will live in infamy.
The war broke out in the Philippines.
Pearl Harbor is not just an attack on one base in Hawaii. It's also an attack on the Philippines.
The president, realized that, hey, we're not going to win the Pacific if we don't enlist the help of the Filipinos that are there.
And he says, basically, you are all now in the service of the United States. Filipinos and Americans marching together into the same forces under the same flag. When the Japanese invade and conquer the Philippines, those forces disintegrate. But that doesn't mean that they stop fighting. That many of them recruit new soldiers into guerrilla armies.
Most people don't know that the Philippines is, outside of Poland, the most devastated Allied country. It is destroyed by World War II.
Roosevelt promised that if you fight under the U.S. flag, they were promised that they would be treated just like any American veteran. Well, that didn't happen.
The Rescission Act is at heart a broken promise. The Rescission Act is really one of the worst things Americans have ever done to the people who have served them.
I thought it will be easy to get their benefit, but I found out as a USAPI veteran, you are a second-rate citizen.
Why were Filipinos singled out? Among the 66 nations that were part of the Allied forces, Filipinos were singled out to be deprived of their rightful benefits. Why?
After the Rescission Act was passed in 1946, there were critics who tried to get it repealed. President Harry Truman said, this does not relieve us of our moral obligation to Philippine veterans.
There was a couple Supreme Court cases. They were trying to get some benefits and the court ruled against them. I had suggested to the senator that maybe we try and do some kind of legislation.
When I came to Washington, I discovered that there were living veterans, and I was really moved by the fact that these are veterans in their 60s, 70s, marching the halls of Congress.
Many of them went on symbolic hunger strikes, and many of them chained themselves to the White House. These are the tactics of political action, of civil disobedience that they are learning from the civil rights movement.
Could you imagine that being like, 70, 80 years old and you believe so much in what you're fighting for that you're willing to handcuff yourself to the gates of the White House knowing that you will be arrested?
What they really, really wanted was an official recognition by the United States government that they served under the US flag, that they exist, that they mattered, that they fought side by side with American soldiers, and yet after the war was over, they were forgotten, like as if they never existed.
This is a Congressional Gold Medal awarded to Filipino World War II veterans.
The Congressional Gold Medal is one of our oldest traditions here in the Capitol.
260,000 Filipino men and women who fought under the American flag were vital to the Allied victory. Today, we commemorate their service and remember their sacrifice.
Congress responds when the people tells them what to do. Sometimes they don't, but in this case, it took more than 40 years. And I think it's a lesson. Anytime there is a cause that is worth fighting for, if you don't speak up, if you don't organize, and you don't let Congress know loud and clear that what they're doing is wrong, then nothing is ever going to happen.
There were over 260,000 Filipino troops that fought, and by the time we get to 2016, 17, there's like 18,000 left and dying daily.
I think most people, by and large, assume that we live in a country where a government does right by our people. Yet, when we uncover the story, it's a story that we need to remember so that we can remain vigilant.
That story is not going to be told unless we do this education project. And we committed ourselves to making sure that that story also becomes enshrined in American history, much like the Navajo code talkers, much like the Japanese American Nisei soldiers, much like the African Americans who fought during the Civil War, because this story is part of American history.
I hope you enjoyed the program, and let me now turn it over back to Joe Garbazos for the official ceremony and awarding the Congressional Gold Medal.
Thank you, General Tony. I'm gonna announce the U.S. Congressional Gold Medal order. So attention to orders, and then after that, I'm gonna call out individually the names of the 12 veterans we're honoring this afternoon. So attention to orders. In accordance with Public Law 114265, the Filipino Veterans of World War II Congressional Gold Medal Act of 2016, the following veterans are awarded the Congressional Gold Medal for their intrepidity and indomitable courage against a brutal enemy in defense of the Philippines and the United States from December 8, 1941 to December 31st, 1946. Today, this afternoon, the following Filipino American veterans will be awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. So first up is First Lieutenant Rodolfo Papa Largosa Jr. Joined the service of the United States Armed Forces of the Far East on November 16, 1941. He served as a first lieutenant ward surgeon in the Army Medical Corps and was stationed at the General Hospital in Cabcaban, Bataan, until the surrender of Bataan on April 9, 1942. In 1943, he connected with guerrilla activities as a medical officer and was given the rank of captain. Dr. Largoza was honorably discharged on April 9th, 1946, and in March of 2000, he was awarded the Prisoner of War Medal. Accepting the gold medal are Dr. Largoza's 9 children. He was prolific. 9 children. I'm gonna call them out: Rosendito, Purificacion, Ricardo, Renato, Rodolfo Jr., Rebecca, Felicidad, Rogelio, and Ramon. Congratulations.
Hello, we are the children of First Lieutenant Rodolfo Papa Largoza, Medical Corps of the USAFI, and these are my siblings. This is Rick, this baby, this Nene, Becky, Rodolfo Jr., and Ramon, and we are joined by our brother from New Jersey, Rosendito, and our other brother from the Philippines, Rogelio, and my name is Renato. On behalf of our father, First Lieutenant Rodolfo Papa Largoza Sr. of USAFI Medical Corps, we are honored to receive the Filipino veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice. Thank you.
A warm of applause, virtual. Right. Next up is Sergeant Raymundo Ramos Liseria. He joined a recognized guerrilla unit at the age of 19, young man, on December 1st, 1943. During World War II, he served with the U.S. Army G Company, 2nd Battalion, Buena Vista Regiment in northern Luzon region of the Philippines. He served until honorably discharged on October 31st, 1945. After the war, he became a civilian worker on base, and in 1993, he moved to San Diego, smart move, to join his daughter and grandchildren. He died on August 28, 2017, and we are sorry for his loss. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal on his behalf are his daughter and granddaughter, Irene and Cheryl Ann Testado. Congratulations.
On behalf of my Lolo and my father, Private First Class Raymundo Ramos Liserio, we are honored to receive the Filipino veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Third up is Corporal John Lyson. I'm an Ilonggo, so I'll pronounce it the Ilonggo way, Lyson, right? Joined the United States Army on March 29th, 1942. He served with the 2nd Filipino Battalion in the Pacific Theater as a rifleman, setting up intelligence observation posts within enemy lines and at frontline positions until December 30, 1945. John died on November 11, 1989, accepting the Congressional Gold Medal on behalf of his 5 children, 10 grandchildren, 23 great-grandchildren, and 2 great-great-grandchildren is his daughter, Carolina Lyson Goodman. Congratulations, and I'm sure your father is smiling up there somewhere.
Thank you, Major General, AARP, and all those who made this event possible. On behalf of our father, Corporal John Lyson, my sister Leticia, brothers Sonny and Dennis, and I are honored to receive the Filipino veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice. As a teenager in 1926, our father left his family rice farm near Iloilo, Panay, to live in the U.S. He is one of the California's historical Manongs. After World War II, he and his war bride, Constancia Salinas from Tacloban, Leyte, raised their 5 children, first in Stockton and then in Palm Springs, where the Veterans Bill made it possible for them to buy a house in 1956. Our father was an amazing gardener, growing vegetables like ampalaya, camote, and gabi, and an orchard of malunggay, calamansi, guava, and mango trees. Neighbors and friends loved harvesting in our backyard.
Congratulations. Well done. Next up is Private First Class Victor B. Marasigan. Joined the Philippine guerrilla during World War II at the tender age of 18. He was inducted on October 1944 as a private first class and was stationed under the headquarters Company 45th Regiment 44 Division Hunters ROTC at Pila, Laguna. His unit engaged in combat operation and intelligence work. His service lasted for a year and he was discharged in 1945. Private First Class Marasigan died in 1995. Sorry for his loss. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal are his widow, Priscilla Marasigan, daughter, Maria Victoria, and son, Edward. Congratulations.
On behalf of my late father, Victor B. Marasigan, Private First Class, with Army Serial Number 214027, as recognized Philippine guerrilla, we are honored to receive the Filipino Veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice.
Well done. Congratulations. Next is Sergeant Cesar Nava. Joined the Philippine Commonwealth Army. He served with the Philippine Army Air Corps and a survivor of the infamous Bataan Death March. And he was also involved, or he was interned at the Capas concentration camp. He was honorably discharged on June 30, 1946, and entered government service at Philippine Normal College. Sergeant Nava died on August 6, 2016. We share your loss. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal are Colonel Carlo Nava, Philippine Army retired, Cesar Nava Jr., and Cecile Nava. Congratulations.
On behalf of our father, Sergeant Cesar V. Nava, we are honored to receive this Filipino Veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice.
Congratulations. Next up is Corporal Romaldo Ignacio. He joined the Philippine Army on October 15, 1942. Very short attribution here from the family, but just like the rest of the families receiving the U.S. Congressional Gold Medal, Corporal Romaldo Ignacio was an extraordinary soldier and a loyal freedom fighter. So we recognize him and his family this afternoon. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal is his daughter, Frances Ignacio. Congratulations.
On behalf of my father, Corporal Romaldo Ignacio, we are honored to receive the Filipino Veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice. My father joined the Army on October 15, 1942. During World War II, He served with Unit A, 2nd Filipino Battalion in Luzon of the Philippine Islands. As a squad leader and marksman, he received the Filipino Liberation Ribbon, the Good Conduct Medal, and Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal. He was discharged on October 16, 1945. Following World War II, he moved to the United States, where he worked in agriculture throughout California. Corporal Romaldo Ignacio died on January 2nd, 1986. On behalf of our family, we'd like to thank the Filipino Veteran Recognition and Education Project for this honor. Thank you to everyone involved.
Thank you, Francis. That was terrific. Thank you for sharing more about your dad, Romaldo. Next is Private Victorino Dagdagan. Joined the Army on July 22nd, 1942. During World War II, he served with Private Company A, 2nd Filipino Infantry in Camp Cook, California. He served with the unit until April 15, 1943. Following World War II, he worked as a farm laborer throughout California, eventually settling in Imperial Valley, California. On April 10th, 1950, he married Dolores Moya and settled in Hopeville, California, where they raised 3 children, Robert, Susana, and Patricia. Private Victorino died on November 29, 1979. He survived by his 3 children, 5 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal are his children, Patricia Martinez, Susana Dagdagan, and Robert Dagdagan. Congratulations.
Hello, I'm Patricia Martinez, and I'm representing my siblings, Robert Dagdagan and Susana Dagdagan. And on behalf of our father, Army Private Victorino Dagdagan, we're honored to receive the Filipino Veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice. Thank you.
Congratulations. Next up is Vinito Hernandez. Joined the Philippine Army and USAFI during World War II. After the war, he continued to serve and was stationed in Zaragoza, Nueva Ecija until 1947. Mr. Hernandez passed away on April 1st, 1981. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal is his daughter, Virginia Ferrer. Congratulations.
On behalf of my father, Vinito Hernandez, of the Army in USAFI, we are honored to receive this Filipino Veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and helpless sacrifice.
Congratulations. Next up is Sergeant Jose G. Jasmine, or Hazman. Served in the U.S. Army from November 23, 1948 to June 30, 1962. During World War II, prior to his active U.S. military service, he fought as a guerrilla, as a Philippine scout, alongside U.S. Army soldiers. He was captured and held prisoner by the Japanese and was in the Bataan Death March, another survivor of the Bataan Death March. He managed to escape and returned to his hometown of Mangaterm, Pangasinan, to continue to fight until the end of the war. He retired from active duty in 1962 with a rank of SP 5 or E5 as a member of the 103rd Engineering Company in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. He served in the Army Reserve until 1971 to complete his U.S. military service. Sergeant Jasmine passed away in 2004. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal are his son, Jose Jr., daughters, Evelyn, Sonia, and numerous grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Congratulations.
On behalf of our father, Sergeant Joe G. Jasmine, we are honored to receive the Filipino Veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice. Thank you.
Congratulations. Next up is Antonio Faustino. Joined the Philippine guerrillas on March the 2nd, 1945. He served with the Lawan Patriot and Suicide Forces in Manila until September 26, 1945. Following World War II, he returned to civilian life, working with various American companies. Antonio died in 1969, and we grieve his loss. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal is his son, Anthony Faustino. Congratulations.
On behalf of my father, Antonio Faustino, we are honored to receive the Filipino Veterans of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice.
Mabuhay indeed. Congratulations. Next up is Staff Sergeant Jose C. Velasco. Philippine Army, served with the 1st Filipino Infantry Regiment until February 18, 1946. A very short description from the family, but I'm sure that just like the rest of the veterans we are honoring here this afternoon, Jose C. Velasco is an extraordinary soldier and someone we can be proud of. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal are his children. Congratulations.
On behalf of our father, Staff Sergeant Jose C. Velasco, we are honored to receive the Filipino Veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice. Jose was born October 15, 1907 in the Philippines and joined the Army on June 12, 1942. His campaigns were in New Guinea and the Southern Philippines. Jose served with the 1st Filipino Infantry Regiment, was decorated and cited with Combat Infantry Badge, Good Conduct Medal, World War II Victory Medal, Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal, the American Campaign Medal, and the Philippine Liberation Ribbon with 1 Bronze Star. Upon his honorable discharge on February 18, 1946, he returned to the Imperial Valley to join fellow Filipinos in the agricultural industry, growing tomatoes, squash, and cucumbers. He continued to farm and work the fields until his retirement, passed away on July 6, 1980. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal on behalf of our father, Army Staff Sergeant Jose C. Velasco, are his children, Mary Helen Velasco Dolenti,
George Velasco, Jose Jr., David Velasco,
and his 2 deceased siblings, Leticia Velasco Groom and Robert John Velasco. On behalf of our father, Staff Sergeant Jose C. Velasco, we are honored to receive the Filipino Veteran of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice.
Well done. I'm sure your dad is very proud. Next, last but not least, it's going to be a robust testimonial. And I think well-deserved. This is for Private Ilugio Cobillo Ramos. Served in the United States Army Forces in the Far East from December 10, 1942 to September 22nd, 1947. The unit was attached to the Bravo Company, 1st Battalion Infantry Regiment, performing duties in the Southern Luzon guerrilla area. After his service, he pursued his studies at Manuel L. Quezon University and received a degree of Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. On December 3rd, 1949, he married Agripina Salgado and were blessed with 9 children. Private Ramos served as a barangay councilman and also as a Catholic lay minister in his hometown of Quezon City. He was also involved with the Disabled American Veterans Organization, both in the Philippines and in California. In 1991, he became naturalized US citizen. He died on January 7, 2015, at the age of 88 in Quezon City, Philippines. Gift of long life. Accepting the Congressional Gold Medal on his behalf are his children, Lori, Grace, Filipina, Ronald, Herbert, Robert, Monette, and Mercipina. Congratulations.
I'm Lori. Mabuhay. I'm Grace. Hi, I'm Filipina Ramos Gabriel.
Kiara, this is Ronald. Hey, Herbert here.
Hi, this is Robert.
Hello, Manette Dugil.
And I'm Josepina Ramos Gutierrez. On behalf of our father, Private Eulogio Cubilio Ramos, we are honored to receive the Filipino Veterans of World War II Congressional Gold Medal for his honorable service and selfless sacrifice.
Maraming salamat.
Salamat po.
Maraming salamat indeed. So thank you very much. So that concludes our presentation to the 12 families. Now, please join me in giving all the families a virtual round of applause. So maybe you can open up the gallery and make sure that everybody gets a virtual hug and a virtual round of applause. Well done, families. Thank you. So Tony, I'd like to bring you back to say words about the Congressional Gold Medal presentation and the opportunity to support the cause moving forward. Tony? I think he's muted.
Unmute, please.
Should we have our distinguished guests make their remarks, if there is possible?
Okay, we can flex that. So we would like to move forward the elected officials who are present. If
there he is.
He is available, there he is. U.S. Congressman Juan Vargas. I'm in your district, Congressman, and I'm non-partisan, but I think I will support you. So welcome and thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
It's been an honor to listen to all of the recipients' children today and the recipients. I had the honor in 2016 to vote on this Congressional Gold Medal of Honor for the Filipino veterans. It was well deserved. The only thing that saddens me is that over the years, I've known so many that have died before they received it themselves, but their children, which I see today, know in their hearts that their parents, their fathers, deserved that medal and finally got the recognition that they deserved. It really is an honorable thing, General, to see you today too here with all of these wonderful people, from one child to 9. I think 9 was the most that I heard, praising their fathers for their heroism and their service to country and the world. You know, I told the story too because they predate. Who predates them? There was one Filipino American or Filipino who won the gold medal back in the early years, and this was Telesforo de la Cruz Trinidad. And I think many of you have heard the story about him. An incredible human being. He was on the USS San Diego. Interestingly, Mr. Garbanzo, his name was, he was on the ship named after San Diego. And they were down near La Paz, and the captain decided, it was 1915, right before the war, First World War. So the captain decided to take the ship up to full speed, so flank speed. So he did that. Unfortunately, there was a clog in one of the boilers, and it blew up one of the boilers. I think it was boiler number 2. Literally, Telesforo was blown out of that fire room. He went back in, and he saved one of his shipmates. And as he was dragging this man to safety, another one of the boiler rooms blew up. By this time, his face was burned, his hands was burned. With these horrible burns, he runs in again with no sense of danger to himself in all sense of trying to save his shipmate, and the ship runs in, grabs him, pulls him out, brings him to safety, saves 2 people. But that wasn't enough. He then went and fought in World War I, and then he fought in World War II, and he retired after World War II. He was, of course, granted the gold medal, the Congressional Gold Medal. That's why Filipino Americans have this great, well-deserved medal, and before them, they have this great example of Telesforo. There's only one sad thing here. Telesforo deserves and should have a U.S. combat ship named in his honor. It's the right thing to do, and we ought to do that. We ought to have the USS Telesforo de la Cruz Trinidad. That ought to be one of our fighting ships. And so I've written a letter to the Secretary of the Navy asking for this to be done. I hope we all can get together. But today we celebrate the fabulous history of Filipino Americans keeping the world safe, keeping the United States safe, with unfortunately terrible things happening to themselves and to their families, the sacrifices they made. But we honor them today for those sacrifices. And I'm so proud of all their children today being proud of their dads, because we're very proud of their dads as a nation. God bless them, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Congressman Vargas. We deeply appreciate it. You're deeply appreciated by all of us, and for supporting the Filipino veterans of World War II.
Yeah, so I would echo General Tony's feedback. Representative Juan Vargas, you're a busy man, but you took time to join us, so we are honored. And credit should go where credit is due, right? Joanne Fields was instrumental in getting you and other elected officials to join us, albeit virtually. So Joanne Fields, I'd like to say a few words, perhaps. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Joe and General Major Taguba, and Congressman Juan Vargas. Not only is he our great representative here in the San Diego Congressional Delegation, he eloquently tells the story of so many Filipino active duty and veterans that have served our country for not just decades, but hundreds of years. And it is great to know that our congressman has stood up to make sure that all of our Filipino military has been recognized and will be recognized with a warship for the heroism and act of valor that U.S. Navy Fireman Telefsorio Trinidad has demonstrated in 1915. So it's over 100 years long that this fight has continued to be recognized. He joined the fight to make sure that our Filipino military also is recognized for their contributions in winning World War II. So I, on behalf of our team that organized today's virtual Filipino American military celebration, this is how we fight hate against Asians, is to remind people we are your neighbors, we are your military, and we stand together with you. And again, thank you, Congressman Vargas and the San Diego delegation that has signed on to ensure the naming of a warship after our Medal of Honor, Telefsorio Trinidad. We also have Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs that has signed on, Congressman Michael Levine, Congressman Scott Peters, and also Mayor Todd Gloria, all of which would have liked to join us today, but due to prior commitments, we're not able to, but they have signed on to that same letter to the Secretary of the Navy for the naming of the warship. But again, the recognition given to the Filipino community for the contributions into American history and the contributions to our military. We really appreciate your time and your continuation of support of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Well said. Thank you. And again, big thanks, U.S. Congressman Juan Vargas. Keep up the good job in Washington. So I would like to bring back Tony to provide some closing remarks.
This has been a wonderful ceremony, well fitting for everybody. But again, to the heroes and families we honored today.
You name after worship.
To the heroes and families we honored today, we thank you for you and your loved ones. Of course, there is no greater honor and respect America can bestow to soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen. As we say, those who have served in the military, there's no statute of limitation in recognizing and honoring our veterans. Let me just be, I say, humble as I address you before we end the ceremony. Now, we have awarded over 3,000 Congressional Gold Medals to living veterans and families since October 2017 in the United States. The Philippines, of course, have done almost 50 ceremonies since 2017 as well. As you could imagine, doing ceremonies in the Philippines, 3,000 islands, and trying to find living veterans across the country is very difficult. Now, we have another 5,000 living veterans, we think. We don't have a census for that, who are in their 90s, of course, and with ailments. And you can imagine dementia, diabetes, and the like, and they're all passing. And most of them will pass along the way, having to wait for the Congressional Gold Medal. Just to let you know, one that we honored a couple of weekends ago, Mr. Faustino Nazareno, not 91 years old, was a recognized guerrilla when he joined the Hunters ROTC guerrilla unit at the young age of 13. And he survived that whole conflict, yet he is at stage 4 cancer today, and we were able to present him this Congressional Gold Medal. At least he should stay alive to at least cherish it for a short period of time. As I mentioned to you, Congress only provided funds for a single Congressional Gold Medal, and that's by law. PhilVet Rep started a fundraising program to raise funds, and also to our sponsorships from donors across the country to buy the bronze replicas that was awarded today. They are very costly, and what we do is that we purchase them ahead of time and then make the presentation. Now, this is our 90th ceremony. I'm not so sure we could continue because we're literally running out of money, just to be honest with you. So we humbly request for those who attended and for those who are listening in for the generous donations, so we can continue to purchase additional bronze replicas from the United States Mint and to keep our award presentations ongoing. We have another 4, maybe 5 this year, but we cannot sustain that in the future. So we need and appreciate your support. Now, your donations are tax exempt. We are tax deductible under IRS rules. The link to donate is right here. I know you can see it, you can post it. But if you go to www.philvetrep.org/donate, we will truly appreciate and gratified in your ability to continue with our program. Any monies that we collect through donations and sponsorship goes immediately to the fund, PhilVet Fund. We are all volunteers, as you can imagine, and we don't get paid. In fact, not to brag, I paid for my own way here from Virginia to San Diego. Please don't tell my wife, and because I like doing this sort of thing on behalf of my own family. So again, go to www.philvetrep.org and please donate when you can. Last but not least, please be safe with your loved ones. I know Omicron is up and active today. Please wear your mask. please get vaccinated. And you know, we want you at least to join our program when you can. We plan to continue with this virtual program and also the hybrid mode in order for us to support the public under Filipino Veterans Recognition Education Project. We will now transition into the USS Telesforo Trinidad campaign. We'll take a short break and then continue with our public advocacy to name a ship, a Navy ship, a combatant ship, a destroyer, a cruiser, or even an aircraft carrier for someone who deserved it after 107 years of being forgotten and not being remembered. So with that, thanks again for joining us. Thank you to Joanne. Thank you for our organizers. Thanks to AARP. I am a member. I'm also an AARP ambassador for caregiving. I gotta love them. Support our veterans along the way. Thanks again. Please have a good weekend and please be safe away from COVID. Thank you.
Well said, General Tony. So just to frame the transition from the Congressional Gold Medal presentation, which is the primary purpose of the event this afternoon, to the panel discussion, I would like to add two things, maybe three. One is it's been an honor, a privilege for us at AARP California to be part of the presentation. It's a moving presentation, very high emotion kind of a presentation. It's terrific to see the legacy of our veterans with their families. Secondly, we will be transitioning to the panel discussion, and we'll take a virtual break briefly to give families opportunities for photo opportunity with the general. And I see Congressman Juan Vargas still online, so we can arrange that. And I'm not the person who's going to do the production to match you with the right person as far as virtual photographs are concerned. I'll leave it to Tiffany. So that's the second item. And the third item is this will be my opportunity to say goodbye to you. Stay safe. I will be transitioning, handing the virtual baton to Commander Ray, who will be facilitating the discussion, Commander Ray Ricario. So he will be managing that panel discussion. We're in good hands, but stick around. So Tiffany, we're going to provide some direction, guidance for the photo opportunity, please.
Thank you, Joe. Really appreciate it. And again, congratulations and thank you to the families who joined us here today. Thank you and your loved ones for being here. We just wanted to take a quick photo. We know it's not the same as in person, but if you don't mind turning on your camera just hitting that button at the bottom, you see the little video. If you press that and hit start video, that way we can see you all. And then we're just going to take a couple screenshots and send them out. And as mentioned earlier, the recording will also be available if you want to go back and view it. But what we're gonna need is just big smiles on the count of 3, and if you can hold it for a couple seconds. I don't know if you all can see the Lagosa family. I see them all smiling. That's amazing. Love it. So if on the count of 3, wait a couple more seconds for people to get on camera. And if you have your medal, you can show it. Thank you, Cheryl. That's great. Let's go ahead and smile. So in 3, 2, 1, big smiles. Great. Hold it. Perfect. So we will get that emailed out to the families. You can share it just for a little snapshot of today. And then you can always go back and watch the recording.
Actually, Tiffany, can we take another one? We do have 2 slides of guests. So I want to make sure that I capture everyone on camera.
Perfect.
Yes.
Always good to get more, right? So let's go ahead one more time in 3, 2, 1, big smiles.
Show teeth.
Show your teeth. Let's hold it maybe for a couple more seconds just so we can grab them. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. And with that, we're going to take a 5-minute break and we're going to play that video or that photo montage one more time. For you all, but thank you again, and we're just honored to have you.
Thank you.